Do I have a shadow self? I guess it depends if you want to say, like, mostly. Yes, but it's not like a typical shadow self relationship. I mean, we're really good friends.
Everybody has fundamentally the same relationship with the shadow self, and that is that it is a organized part of the inner life with its own personality, its own agenda, of which we are not conscious. That's why we call it the shadow, because it hides.
He's very on guard. I would say he's very watchful when we're driving, and I do most of the driving. I do have the license. If someone cuts us off, he gets enraged, very angry. This guy, wow.
What happens is, under any kind of moral stress, when we feel angry, upset, devalued, something that we care about is threatened, the normal part of ourselves that regulates our behavior is pushed aside, and the shadow comes out with its agenda.
He sort of eggs me on a little bit. You're going to take that? You're going to take that from that car full of football players? Yes, as a matter of fact, I am going to take it.
And its agenda is either to punish, to attack, to threaten, to bully, or to feel guilt, shame, and fear.
If I can be frank, though, for a second, sometimes I feel like he doesn't have my best interests at heart.
Your shadow doesn't like you. The shadow, remember, is a different self that skewers the entire ego self. It basically causes a life of deception. In the Zohar, it's called Olama de Shikara, the world of lies. So the world of lies comes out of the shadow. What we call the Yetzer Hara, the shaping toward destructiveness, is in the shadow.
I get up in the morning and I'm going to be doing my push-ups, whatever, my sit-ups, whatever it is. Yes, that's what yes, it's not ridiculous, okay? It's my turn, all right? And I feel it's the kind of...
So when people come to you with the shadow, in addition to big things, anger with children and spouses, very typical things are, for example, dieting and exercising. There are times a person gets up in the morning, they know they're supposed to exercise, but they don't want to. So you have to trick your Yetzer Hara. You have to say, I'm putting my gym clothes on, but I'm not going to exercise, don't worry. I'm just going to put the clothes on. Believe it or not, it'll let you put the gym clothes on.
And he's like, are you sure you want to be doing this, man? Don't you want to have a waffle instead? And I'm like, well, yes, I would like to have a waffle. Well, why don't you have a waffle? Because I want... Okay, I'll have a waffle.
You can walk outside, and you'll start to feel the resistance. It will say, we're not going to run. You say, I don't intend on running, I just want to sit here. The Yetzer Hara will come down. I walked out to the street. My Yetzer Hara says, I'm too tired to run. I said, we're not running, we're just having a walk. We're just going to have a stroll. And sometimes the 40-minute walk is all I need to start to feel better, get my body moving, and the Yetzer Hara has gone back to sleep.
I don't think I'm even hungry right now. I'm making myself a sandwich because out of shape in Sherman Oaks. Dear Abby, right? She's an advice columnist from the... He doesn't care.
A person knows rationally and objectively their body is not famished. They've had enough to eat. But the shadow is craving. And the distinction you have to make is between your physical body and the hunger of the shadow. Here's a good example of the shadow. The shadow is starving. Your physical body is fine. So who's starving? You're not, as it were. Your shadow has pushed into consciousness and said, I'm starving. Now, if you go into the shadow and say, what are you starving? It's not food. Your shadow oftentimes tell you, I need rest. I need love. I need meaning. I'm lonely. I'm tired. The shadow will almost always tell you what it's hungry for. And then you can talk to the shadow and say, I know you're hungry. I know you're angry. I know you're lonely. I know you're tired. It's very strong. It's very clever. And sometimes we can't be as strong and as clever as the Yetzer Hara, but we can be wiser.